isompi, mitä he näette sitä yllä.
Siis tässä todistetusti on nuolet.
Niin kai.
HMS Belfast 6-inch guns opened fire on the Normandy coastline in support of the troops who would soon land on the beaches. 27 men were packed into this gun turret, aiming, loading and firing the guns. All around, hundreds of Allied warships immediately leapt into action.
Didn't like it. There were boats everywhere, thousands of them. We went to action stations early on. Everything was closed down. There are 7 men working each of the guns. We all move in sequence.
Belfast guns could fire up to 14 miles, as far from here as Wembley Stadium. The guns could be fired one at a time, 3 at once in a single turret, or all 12 together in a broadside. A broadside from Belfast's 12 guns was incredibly powerful, shaking the whole ship all the way down to the boiler and engine rooms. Firing a broadside involved the coordinated work of over 200 men spread throughout the ship. High up in the direct control tower, observers made direct observations of the target or tracked it using radar. This information was then passed to the transmitting station down below. There, calculations were made on how to hit the target that could then be sent to the guns. Shells and cordite explosive were sent to the guns from the stores at the bottom of each turret, located within Belfast's protected armoured box. The guns were then loaded, aimed and fired by the 27 men working for each of the gun houses.
Joo. Mielenkiintoista, kun tuo tykkitorni kääntyy tuossa. Aika iso.
Ei koske noin.
Tässä on ilmatorjunta alla.
Täältä pääsee sinne minne pitääkin mennä.
Black deck. Niinkö? Morsekooditusta.
Jos vaikka tää.
Tää on numerosähköstä. Aivan helvetin iso. Miten vittu se tämmöisellä käyt soittaa?
Tää on oikein joku iso välineitä.
Black deck.
Harvoin tuonne paskasta takaisin. Sitten pitäisi levittää sinne ihan niinku alimmalle.
Oliko se niin, että kolme, mitä? Se oli.
En minä tiedä, mutta jos käy vaan sitä alikerroista, niin sitten pitäisi silloin viiteen asti alkaa.
Tässä olisi käy. Siinä on kapteeni. Aika paksua lasia.
ei kyllä nyt kerätä sinne museoon mitään.
No ei se haittaa.
Start punching it. Something sure. Happy to go.
Tuosta on kävelty jo. Eiköhän mennä alas. No enter. Täällä on joku... Täällä on koko systeemi jo. On jotakin helvetinmoisia lähtömaata. Tuolla on kyllä... Rippit open. Joo. Onkohan paljon tämä aina kääntänyt?
Nyt mä voin jännittää, mikä sieltä tulee.
Tästäkö tätä on hoidettu? Se on hyvä.
Mitenköhän tuonne pääsee?
Yeah.
Blackboard room. Yeah.
Good. Please give me your arm so I can
Yes.
take your blood pressure.
We're not there until tomorrow later. So yes, I mean by all means, you're disturbing us in the Wakefield around. So it's just Esme. So if it's
Joo, noissa on joku ollut oikeesti.
Jalalta räjähti ja tupakka suussa, niin silti kannattaa vedättää.
the only thing is just being, have the two sides that there is a defined area where
If your recovery continues,
Sitten
I
kun
hope
lähti
you'll
jalaan
be discharged
se
within the next day or two.
Thank you, sir. Find the thorns between the two hands. Yeah. The thorns are dangerous to the sheep. So if we look at the direction of the wind, because it all goes up, anyway. So I don't think it's going to set anything on fire. If the whole thing went, that I would probably transfer it some time. But I don't hire me probably not do that kind
In
of
June 1950,
myself.
the crew of HMS Belfast were docked in Japan when North Korea invaded South Korea. The United Nations deployed forces to liberate South Korea.
Is that if the sea is rough, then you move, so it's not so bad. Whereas in a bunk bed, every time that it moves.
Tässäkin on
Oikealla kädellä.
tää loppu tämä uudemmaksi. Boiler room engine.
But this used up the fuel oil very quickly. Usually, the ship cruised at a slower rate of between 10 and 18 knots, or 11 to 20 miles an hour. Still quite fast for a big ship like this.
Tää on melko ahdistava paikka.
You are now in HMS Belfast forward boiler room. The boilers are the large structures behind you, as you're looking at this screen.
Vähän isommat turpat.
Letter A, with a pointed top These are closed to visitors. All four of these compartments are located within what is known as the armoured box, under layers of thick steel armour. The main belt of this armour runs up and along both sides of the ship. Joining it together like a lid is the horizontal deck armour. This protective armour keeps the ship's vital systems and backups safe from enemy fire. The four compartments are arranged together along the centre of the ship, within the armoured box. The machinery in the boiler and engine rooms works together in pairs, but is located in separate compartments. This means that if any of the compartments were hit by a shell or torpedo, the others would keep working, and the ship would still have at least half its power. Belfast engines were driven by high-pressure superheated steam. This was made here in the boilers. Basically, the boilers are like huge kettles. Water comes in, gets heated up, and goes out of the steam.
Yes.
At the heart of each boiler is a fridge-line turn. Preheated fuel oil is injected into the furnace. Powerful fans force air into the boiler room from outside the ship, creating an oxygen-rich atmosphere. This then went into the boilers alongside the fuel oil. The result is an intensely hot fire. Once at the top, this saturated steam was piped back through the furnace for a second time. By the time it had finished, it had become superheated steam. The superheated steam was then sent from the boiler room to the engine room at a very high pressure. The high pressure steam from the boiler room drove the turbines within the engine room, and this in turn moved the propellers round. At top speed, Belfast engines could drive the ship forward at 32 knots or 37 miles an hour, as fast as a modern cruise liner. But this used up the fuel oil very quickly. Usually, the ship cruised at a slower rate of between 10 and 18 knots, or 11 to 20 miles an hour. Still quite fast for a big ship like this. You are now in HMS Belfast forward boiler room. The boilers are the large structures behind you when you're looking at this screen. They are shaped like a giant letter A, with a pointed top and a wide base. The boiler rooms in HMS Belfast power the ship.
Ollaan nyt niinku veden lännessä.
This forward boiler room is linked to the forward engine room, which you can visit later. Further back down the ship are the aft boiler and engine rooms. These are closed to visitors. All four of these compartments are located within what is known as the armoured box, under layers of thick steel armour. The main belt of this armour runs up and along both sides of the ship. Joining it together like a lid is the horizontal deck armour. This protective armour keeps the ship's vital systems and backups safe from enemy fire. The four compartments are arranged together along the centre of the ship, within the armour. The result is an intensely hot fire with degree temperatures of up to 2,000 degrees Celsius.
Emme kyllä ikinä halua sotalaivalla töissä.
No.
Onko tää niinku kuparialetta?
Sitten mä oon ihan älyttömän kokoinen laitsu. Onko tässä kampiaksi? Eikö tämä on... Tässä on potkurin akseli ja tuossa on... Voi vittu.
Tiedätkö mikä vaan naurattaa?
No.
Kyllä me 20 minuutissa mäkiä.
No joo. Eihän tätä käsittää tämä tämmönen asbestos, no niin. Moottori on niinku tämmönen talon kokoinen.
This is HMS Belfast forward engine room. The propeller is over 3 meters in diameter.
Nyt otin liikaa sellaista mallia ja pitää
The
kaikki.
engine ceiling of the forward engine room turned the two outer propellers. A second aft engine room powered the inner propellers. Power went from the engines through the gears to the propeller shafts. Each engine generated what was termed 20,000 shaft horsepower. That means it was as powerful as 100 family cars. Together, the four engines could produce 80,000 shaft horsepower, which allowed Belfast to travel at high speed when required. High-pressure, superheated steam is piped to the engine rooms from the boiler rooms. You may have already visited the boiler room, which made the steam for the engines here. The steam was directed into the engines by the throttles. These are the three large control wheels behind you. Each throttle directed the steam onto a different set of turbines. A turbine is a drive wheel that is forced round by the pressure of the steam, in much the same way that wind turns the blades of a windmill. Each of the engines had 4 sets of turbines. Immediately to the right of this screen is the small astern turbine that allowed Belfast to go backwards. On the left of the screen is the cruising turbine. This was used to travel long distances at relatively slow speeds of between 10 and 18 knots, or 11 to 20 miles an hour. Beyond this are the high pressure and low pressure turbines. These work together to produce much greater power and higher speeds. At its fastest, Belfast could reach speeds of 32 knots or 37 miles an hour, as fast as a modern cruise liner. But that could only be kept up for short periods of time and used up the ship's fuel oil very quickly. Using the more economical cruising turbine, Belfast could travel from Britain to Sri Lanka before needing to fill up its tanks again. This is HMS Belfast forward engine room. Beyond this screen, you can see one of the ship's Parsons Field turbine engines.
Täydellistä.
In total, Belfast had 4 engines. Each engine turned on and jar propellers at the stern or back of the ship. Each propeller measured over 3 meters in diameter.
Mentiinköhän me taas niinku väärästä suunnasta?
Todennäköisesti.
The engine team in the forward engine room turned into outer propellers. A second aft engine room powered the inner propellers. Power went from the engines through the gears
Miksi täälläkin on nuolia? Ei se on koko ajan eri suuntaan. Onko? No mutta. Way out.
Ei vissiin lähdössä vielä ole. Tai ollaanko?
En meti. No mutta tottapa se on se jo varttia.
No 7 minuuttia, niin ei se oikein. Kyllä me aika hyvin lähdetään.
No pääpointit. Pääpointit kyllä joo.
Pero no sube de 15 grados, muy agradable.
Tutto sono tornata e ho pieno così. Poi ho detto, senti,